Hey there, YouTube. How you doing? Sorry about being a few minutes late. My computer decided to run some updates as I was trying to go onto the live stream. But thank you for showing up for the second show of the day. And thanks, buddy, for Hulk smash the like button. I appreciate that. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. Earlier, I was Force Goes Blue. Now I am Praetorian Red. I actually planned on running this next week, but some fun pictures leaked out today. And I don't know where they originated, um, but they are going around. I got to them about 5 different times already. Astro says, was about to start watching tonight's previous show when this popped up. What a week for us fans. I know. I love it. Like when it rains, it pours, right? it's kind of how it's been, as it's true. And I'm not complaining. You know, I was going to run this story, like I said, next week. I wanted to get more on it because it's still like going on right now. And that's why usually after something has gone on, that's when you could hear the rest. But the photos leaked out, and I'm glad. I didn't have any photos I could share or anything like that. You know, I just heard about this. So let me pull up the website and the little article that I just did. Okay, you can see that there. So earlier today, we had details on Qui-Gon Jinn's return or not, depending on what your stance on spoilers are. But the details about Qui-Gon's involvement. So make sure you check that out. Also, yesterday, I had a big scoop about Grogu's new suit. And also heard about that with this stuff too, again. So I knew about Grogu's new mech suit for a while, but heard it from this same person too. That's how I knew that this stuff was legit. And people are asking me too, are these pictures legit? The pictures are completely legit, 100%. So my article is Rumors and Pics of Praetorian Guards in Mando Season 3. So there's apparently filming for Mando 3 in Long Beach, California this week. Really close to my house, like really close. And I was told at this location, Din Djarin fights with Red Troopers and Praetorian Guards. Now, the way it was described to me is that they're like, they have like Mando helmets, but the armor is sort of like red Stormtrooper armor. And then they also said that there were like straight up Praetorian guards, like Last Jedi style Praetorian guards there. They said that that they have the weapons like they have in the Last Jedi, that they'll probably add that little fire stuff. So it like all of that stuff is there for the props. So basically what I think we have going on here, and where I was chasing this plot thread, this is like informed speculation, but essentially this stuff all appears to be related to the plot that Grogu is part of this cloning project somehow. Not that he's a clone. I'm not saying Grogu's a clone either. I don't know. I highly doubt it. But that Grogu, they want him probably for the Snoke resurrection program. And so it's along that plot thread that we end up getting to this stuff right here. And this is where we see these, I guess these are Praetorian guards that are like the troops for the Praetorians. And they're like a Stormtrooper hybrid thing. I'm guessing that maybe these are the red guards originally who the red Mandos who originally defected, I guess. I mean, I'm trying to put it together of what it could mean, because I don't actually know. Like I said, this is like a developing story. Generally speaking, I would like sit on this stuff for a while, like figure it out, get to interview people, so that way I could speak with some kind of like clear authority or understanding any of what I'm hearing. But this is the photo right here of the helmets, and then here are the other 2 pictures. And that's of what looks like a Star Destroyer, probably. And is that like a gunner? Is that like one of those gunner seats? Looks pretty cool. I'm not sure if that's like one of the like a gunship gunner turret, or if it's something else. But I've barely got to look at the pictures because I was leaving the last show, grabbed some lunch real quick, and then had to run back and hit this really quickly. But I'm not complaining. I love Star Wars, so this is super fun to look at and to talk about. I mean, look how pretty these little candy apple red helmets are. You know, I want one. I won't wear it, but I want one. Yeah, and as the truth says, was about to start watching tonight's previous show when this popped up. What a week for us fans! And I gotta say, it's been a big week, and next week should be fun too. Also, I was talking to my buddy Bestman Bulletin about this stuff just the other night, and so I gotta say, Bestman, chop, 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 chop. We got to get going on the Mando 3 stuff, man. Come on, let's do it. Do it. I'm kidding, but do it. Okay, Andrew says, man, you're on fire this week. Glad to see you back. Thanks. And I didn't release these photos. These photos are from some other Great Samaritan, you know, but I do have some stuff to add to it and to talk about with it. And boy, they look a lot cooler because what I was hearing about this stuff, these were kind of like the footnote. Yeah, it's like I just remember, yeah, they're just like, they have like, there's like red stormtroopers with Mando helmets. So like that was the footnote to the story. What I was trying to chase down was, does this lead to Snoke? Because I would have to assume or believe that that's what we're getting at here, is that this is going to eventually evolve into Snoke territory. Speculation, but hopefully now we'll just get the answer quicker. Maybe not. So, how many new reveals do you expect they'll show at Celebration? Asked Johannes. I don't know. With Celebration, it's always a hard read, dude. It really is. It's like I mean, I'm just hoping for Grammar Rodeo stuff. Like I want to know what that is. So I'm hoping like that's like one of the big announcements. Tales of the Jedi, Grammar Rodeo, probably stuff like that, But I also imagine that if they try to save that stuff for Celebration, it'll just leak out before Celebration anyway. So if it is going to happen, we'll probably have it soon, I would imagine. OMI says Omi Wan Dahomey. Best name ever, bud. Between the Kenobi trailer and all these leaks, has my mind going crazy. Great week for Star Wars fans. Let's go. Yes, I agree. I enjoy being on fire. I enjoy being able to do this at this level. It's so freaking fun. Being able to like hit this much stuff in 1 week is just great. Being able just to enjoy it all. I mean, especially, this isn't even like the show yet, like, or the Kenobi show. It's like, that's what's so good about it is the Mando season 3. The stuff I'm hearing is just so amazing. I'm going to drop one little thing. I'll drop one little extra bonus Mando bit for you guys is there's a frozen lake that they're apparently fighting on. Not these guys, the different scenario. There's like a frozen lake on Mandalore, and everybody's out there. Everybody, the whole gang, if you will, with Grogu in his mech, and they're fighting on this frozen lake on Mando. It sounds fucking rad. I can't lie, you guys. It sounds pretty fucking cool. Just existing with that stuff and the Kenobi stuff at the same time in my brain, I'm just like, oh, what a time to be a Star Wars person, Dell says, we're just finishing up the Patreon member stream for Santa. Oh, nice. It's nice. Yeah. I hope Santa had a good one. I thought I was starting my weekend right now. Once again, not complaining. Love to hang out with you guys. So I'm not complaining, but the bonus material here, like I said, Frozen Lake, Mando season 3. That's where the fight goes down. Sounds cool. So, as the truth says, Kenobi leaks and trailers, season 3 leaks, a lot more Lego Star Wars gameplay and info. It feels great. Also, seems like someone posted these pics to 4chan first, saying they're on set. Ooh, okay. So it's a 4chan leak So thank you, 4chan person. Much appreciated. And as a true, my son is watching your channel. Everyone, if you like Star Wars gaming, definitely follow as a true. He does a very good job, very high quality content, lots of followers because and he deserves it. And yeah, and he's just a great guy. And as a true, anytime I'm doing a stream, just so you know, it's an open invite. You can join and hang out anytime you want. Any day you just feel like hanging around shooting the shit, man, just tell me you're free and I'll send you the invite. Like, I want to make it clear that you're always invited. So red Mandos equals randos. Yeah, right? How's it going, Mr. Porter? Mike Porter Bartholomew the second. Love it. Love it. Goes with the little cowboy hat Mig. So, but yeah, and this and so yeah, like I said, we got whoa, here we go. See, look at that. Look at that set. It's beautiful. I really don't ever get tired of looking at this kind of stuff either, you know. I remember being a child with the Return of the Jedi little book with the two red guards on the side and the elevator that Luke comes out of to get to the Emperor's room, the little Return of the Jedi like catalog. I used to just look at that thing all the time, but that I always loved that look of that dark lighting with red. It just always looks so cool. And yeah, anybody have any ideas what this is? Is this one of those turrets from like the Clone Wars? Is it different? I mean, it does look different to me, but I'm a little at a loss of what that is. But yeah, so but I was definitely told also on a side note that these are bad guys. Like these aren't guys that are going to be teaming up with Mando. They're evil. They're not good. Looks like a ball turret gunner. Yeah, that's what I think too. That's right, Mike. Randos. So yeah, I'm guessing that those helmets aren't made out of Beskar either. That they're probably just like some Imperial grade bullshit. I don't know. I'm just guessing though. So Andrew says, "You think the Tales of the Jedi are going to be like the Ulick Well Droma story, or are they just using the titles and using a different story?" Yeah, that's a good question, Andrew. Like on one hand, I could completely see them just reusing the title. You know, we had the Last Jedi on was it Marvel Comics 40 something maybe. You know what I mean? Like we've had titles used in other places. Now, Tales of the Jedi is a little bit bigger, but at the same time, if you look at it just from a corporate standpoint, that comic series hasn't really been active um, in years. So I think they would just reuse it. So I'm not expecting it to be anything that we've seen before, but I would not be surprised, and I would not be surprised if it was something new. But never say never. I don't want to crush anybody's dreams. I know a lot of YouTubers get really successful on the platform by just telling people what they want to hear, but I can't do it. I got to be honest. I kind of just doubt it though. Junkbox, just when I thought you were done, you surprised me again. Yeah, right? I know. Just when I thought I was done, they pull me back in. Junkbox, they pull me back in. They Mike says they look like Bando battling helmets. Is that something? Oh, batting helmets. Yeah, like they're going to the batting cages. Little Grogu's first game of Little League, you know? And it's like Hook. Mando's not going to his games, and then Captain Hook comes in. It's like, hey, I'll be your dad, and it gets kind of weird after that. Uh, Michael says, "What do you call a child? What do you call a chilled to the bone Yoda?" Froyo. You're on fire, man. You're on fire. Darth Rio, how's it going, Mr. Rio? Do you think we will see Snoke this season? I kind of do. You know, um, I was only tipped off and hinted at the Praetorians, and where I was going to try to figure that out was, is there a throne in that set? Because if there's a throne in the set, then we know it's Snoke slash Palpatine, and there I was trying to figure out too, like how does Din go up against Palpatine? Well, The way what I worked out in my head trying to figure out how that could be is that does end up going there, does end up confronting. We know if Snoke dies, it's kind of okay for Palpatine. He'll be okay, right? He'll be all right. Like he's just gonna chill on Exegol. But they probably really need Grogu. Grogu is really important, so they probably don't just outright force choke him to death, for instance, or something like that he couldn't defend himself against, because Grogu is needed for this, most likely this Palpatine resurrection program. And we can guess that it doesn't work out too well for Palpatine, which is why his body is falling apart in Episode 9. So I'm assuming that they will probably live. They will probably succeed and, making it. So Obi-Wan, the homies all, damn you, Mike Froyo. Every now and then I'm just like driving and I think of a Mike Porter joke when he's told, and I just crack up. Hey Jen, thanks for coming and hanging out with us. How are you? Junkbox. I wonder if Boba is going to return to help Din in season 3. So, to the best of my knowledge, right now, with what I've heard, I don't think Din is in the. I don't think Boba is in the season, or at least not in these episodes. So I'm not really sure how that plays out. I'm not saying he's not either. Like there could be some whole sea story going on that I just don't know about. Like this stuff is happening right now. Mando finished filming a few weeks ago, and then now these are the pickup shoots. They're doing a round of pickup shoots, reshoots, pickup shoots, and that's what all of this is. So I kind of think some of this stuff might be added to make it even better. So as a true says, thanks so much. Would love to jump on soon. Bit busy ahead of Lego Star Wars, so I'm all over the place right now. Yeah, I know, dude. I know. I'm trying to figure out if I should pre-order the game digitally so my kids have it digitally, or if I should pre-order it physically from the store so they could get the Death Trooper early or whatever. My son is just like, I don't care. I just want it. I just get it for me now, Dad. But yeah. And my son loves your show, like I said, man. Yeah, so we got Junkbox says the helmets look like Mandalorians that were with Maul. Yeah, they don't have those little horns sticking out of them or anything like that. But I'm curious if they're going to do something like the Praetorian program, like sponsor that. But I don't know what they've established that they have to adhere to. Like they will of course bend the rules to make it work whenever they need to. They'll bend it, but I don't know what's established for Praetorians, how far they can bend that stuff. And I tend to kind of forget sometimes. Praetorian Mandalorians, essentially, yeah. Like I said, I was told that there were stormtrooper, like basically stormtrooper armor with Mandalorian helmets, with Praetorian guards. They all have weapons, they all have staffs, and then another part of the story is that they go and they are fighting on a frozen lake on Mandalore itself. And that's where Grogu's in his little Hulkbuster IG-11 outfit. And it sounds really, really, really fun. And, I keep bouncing back to Kenobi, but like Kenobi is going to be so well done. It's just the vibe I'm getting and the story. It just sounds so good. So when I think of what we're getting in Mandalorian season 3, which just sounds like I don't know how to explain it. It's like one is like such a tightly well crafted story, and the other one's just fucking metal. I'm like Book of Boba Fett. Like I do like Book of Boba Fett. You guys, I swear, I'm not trying to like pick on it. I did enjoy. I had a good time with it. I just thought it was a mess in terms of the structure of the general story. But the general structure of this story for Mandalorian season 3 sounds way more like season 1 and season 2, like more on point, and like a culmination of both seasons. So I'm of the opinion that Star Wars only had a scoop where they said what did they say? Mandalorian season 3 would be the final season. Well, my very first scoop on the Mandalorian was that it's the Mandalorian, and that's about a Mandalorian and a child and the restoration of the planet of Mandalore itself. And I believe that the original charter for the show is the original concept, the original pitch will be completed in season 3 of the series. So I think that what Star Wars only reported is in most ways true. I feel like if there is more beyond season 3, it's in a way part 2 of the story that they created, if that was part 1, or phase 2 of the Mandalorian story, because yeah. Hey, almost hello from Tijuana. Man, that's pretty cool. I haven't been to Mexico in a long time with all of this pandemic and stuff, but love Tijuana. Good times. Dre says, whoever took these pics has balls of steel. Yeah, they do. Good job. Good job, whoever took these pics. And like I said, I have a feeling this is from the set in Long Beach. I could be wrong, but I had heard that they were doing a show in Long Beach, and it was Mandalorian's pickups, and so it makes sense to me that if this is where this would be from. I've had a lot of pics leaked to me over the years from Manhattan Beach, and that I don't think that's Manhattan Beach, but excuse me, guys. I'm losing my voice after I've been basically streaming since about 9 a.m. my time. It's 3 o'clock my time now. My voice is getting sleepy. Will Mandalorian season 3 be yeah, and I kind of just touched on that, so I think you heard it. Junkbox says literally red shirts just like Star Trek. Yeah, I don't. Geekdom fans unleashed. Over 50% or under Gungans, yes or no, season 3. Ooh, Gungans. Man, I want Gungans, but I have not heard anything, so I'm going to say under. I'm going to say under 50%. I would love it, though. I would love if there was like a new Gungan character, like a Gungan warrior or a Gungan bounty hunter or something like that. I mean, it'd be great if it was just Jar Jar. I mean, wouldn't it be great if they just ran into that old clown somewhere and he's entertains, Grogu for a second? Not really that big on chance encounters, but if that happened, I would not be mad, Yes, almost. I will marry you. I will move to Mexico. I will relocate. Now, what's up? What is your big question? I will answer it to the best of my ability, as honestly as I can. But yeah, so what is that in the picture right there? Is it like a wanted sign? Like wanted leakers. And I haven't got a chance to like compare this, to other stuff. Like, is this Moff Gideon stuff or whatever? Because it probably is. Honestly, I'm kind of thinking that maybe we end up going on a journey that takes us to Moff Gideon, and then Moff Gideon maybe takes us to Snoke or whatever. That would be fun. So, okay. Geekdom says if they can bring back pit droids, they could bring back Naboo. Oh, I totally agree. When they were filming season 1 of Mando, I was down there on the set, and when they were filming the shots of Din as a child when his parents are probably killed, and during the Clone Wars and the super battle droids come and murder his family. When that was happening, I wasn't sure for a time if that was Naboo because the set pieces looked very similar as they were like getting it ready. And when you look back on the Phantom Menace stuff, they did a really good job of incorporating their designs into Caserta Palace and to that kind of stuff. So there's like some like kind of like lineage, like, that kind of like makes it all feel consistent. But when you look at what they actually built, where it was like their constructed stuff down there at Leavesden, oh, they could do that down here right now. So I don't, and then so much of it would just be done in CGI. I have no problem with the concept or the belief that Naboo could come back. but I have not heard anything about Naboo, unfortunately. Almost says, have you um have you seen or heard some of the Star Wars YouTube channels in Latino America? I haven't. I don't really speak my Spanish. I can't speak Spanish for the most part. I could kind of understand it sometimes. I could kind of get by, because I'm from Southern California. So like, you kind of start picking up stuff, and just because we all live together. I have so many friends who are Spanish speakers and stuff. But yeah, but if you have any recommendations for anybody who may be a Spanish speaker or from Latino America, who might want to check some out, by all means, throw them up here and I'll share them right now. Kieran says, any chance Disney might tweak the look of the Inquisitor after the Kenobi trailer backlash? I doubt it. Just to be honest, I doubt it, Kieran. I don't think so. I don't think that they would do it. I kind of just think it is going to be what it is. I think and I don't think that, like, he's in sequences like at practical sets off, on location, not on a set that like on a space down in El Segundo and stuff at this other place. And I don't see them rebuilding sets because like Twitter had a bad day. I also don't think that enough people saw Star Wars Rebels in the big picture that it would be worth it to them to have to go back and start filming. I also don't think they have time. Just to be honest with you, like they got the backlash yesterday, and this show comes out in like 2 months. I don't see it. I don't think it's possible without. I don't think they could do it, and I don't think that it would be worth. I think whatever damage this does, if any at all, in reality, whatever it would do, I don't think it would matter enough. So yeah, unfortunately, I think that's how he's going to look. But fortunately, like I have been saying, Reva is our character. Reva is our hero, or not our hero, our villain, our maybe our anti-hero if you like evil people in your stories. So yeah, so just don't. I wouldn't really get too hung up on it. Like, don't let it bother you if it does, because it probably doesn't really. He probably doesn't really play into it enough that it's gonna like continue to annoy you. But I could be wrong. Yesterday I when I released that Grogu scoop about Grogu and the Hulkbuster, I thought everybody was gonna feel as happy as I did, and no, they were not liking it. But I think if I had been able to show them, they probably would have understood. But maybe it was me. Sebulba or Watto appearing on Tatooine and Kenobi, geekdom mess. So no geekdom. No, I got to be like completely 100% with you here. I'm not going to mislead you or anything like that. You're not going to have any any cameos of anybody that like could appear or would appear. Like none of that is gonna happen. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, you got your Luke Skywalker, you got your Leia, your Beru, and your Owen. You got your Qui-Gon. You got, and then you have like a whole cast of new people. You got Bell Organa, Bria Organa. Yeah, I mean, it's like all of the classics are kind of there. And so you're not going to see anybody on Tatooine like showing up from the past. No Jar Jar, no Watto, no Sebulba that I know of. And if they were to have Sebulba just like skipping down the street or something like that, it would have been added in CGI late in the game. So there's nothing like that going on in Kenobi that I can confirm at this time. And I'm pretty sure I generally know all of the major beats of Kenobi, and I don't think there's anything like that coming. So whenever you hear like a rumors about this character and that, don't get your hopes up. It's kind of just setting you up so that way they can then have the people who do that set it up so that they can go like, oh, I don't know, General Krell's in it, right? Watch General Krell. And then when General Krell doesn't show up, then you go, this show sucks because it didn't have General Krell and everybody was expecting it. They're like, yeah, yeah. So it's more about like mobilizing that mob into paying you and than it is about fandom, unfortunately. Moff Gideon Junkbox says Moff Gideon. Oh, and thank you for being a channel member, Junkbox. I don't know if I thanked you for that recently, but thank you to everyone who's a channel member and supports the channel. And you can like the video and subscribe and click on the little dumbbell thing so you get the notifications and let the videos play all the way through. That's another way of supporting the channel. Thanks, guys. Junkbox says Moff Gideon should be captured though, so we should be getting a prison break episode. Yeah, that's a good question, Junk. Like, will it be a scenario where he's just like, does he break out of prison? Do we see it, or does it just happen? Is he handed back over because the Republic are not smart, as we've seen? See, like the New Republic is formed by such a tired, beaten people that they end up pretty much getting infected with the same imperialists. Like I heard a lot about the plans that were going on behind the scenes when they were setting up what the New Republic was going to be for Star Wars and feature stories and content and stuff. And one of the things I had always heard that has not really been disproven to me and everything was that basically it's infected from the very start with people who want to go back to the old ways of imperialism. You had people that were damn near aristocrats in the empire, and now they're in the Republic. They don't want that. They want to keep growing and getting more powerful and getting more capital and accumulation. And this Republic thing isn't really working out for them. So they kind of go right back to square one. And as we see, there's great heroes like General Leia, but they care more that she was Darth Vader's daughter than the fact that she's been doing good for them since she was 10 years old. So Obi-Wan Tahomey says they look closer to Emperor's Royal Guards than Snoke's elite Praetorian Guard. Yeah, the guys in the picture. See, I'm fairly certain, based off of what I was told, that we're going to have these guys as troopers. They have like the rest of their armor is more stormtroopery. Not white stormtrooper, but like red stormtrooper armor. In terms of design, I'm not saying it's 1-to-1. And I haven't seen all the stuff. So, like I said, this is me. I had to jump the gun on this because this came out, and I was going to hopefully get more on it this weekend, and then have more to give you next week about the Praetorian stuff. But that's kind of where we're at right now. So, okay. So, what's the next one? All right, Geekdom says, has Disney heard the backlash from the Grand Inquisitor? Should be an easy CG fix, even though it was originally makeup. That you could be right there. Would rather it look like in episode 3. Yeah. I still don't think there's time, or they will. Just and I'm not sure how much screen time he has in total, or to what extent it's important. When it comes to like the glowing eyes thing, I believe the glowing eyes concept is more supposed to be as they get more fierce, then you'll get that glowing eyes kind of stuff. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just gonna play the ball with the ball eyes, with that big old ball sack of a head he has. So play the ball with the ball eyes on that one. Gitan says, or they should start making more Powans look different in future content then. Yeah, well, there are Utapauans in the background of the show. They don't all have that tall of a head. Like you can see some that have heads closer to that, but that guy has a really fucking round head. So I think that has more to do with it. And I also don't think that when they shot him on Tatooine and that sun, that design was the best one for it. Like personally, I feel like when he got to Tatooine, he should have had like a cloak on. You know what I'm saying? Like they should have given him like a cloak or something to protect him from those elements, because let's be honest, Homeboy's gonna get a sunburn. He's gonna be red like I am for Praetorian Jason if he was to, actually do that. So is Kenobi barely based on Tatooine then? Yeah, I'm gonna say a third of it's on Tatooine. If so, a third of the episode. So it's a good amount, but not entirely. So yeah. Kieran says, "Cheers, Jason. Great. I'm most interested in the relationship between how Leia and Luke always had Obi-Wan in their lives, but never knew it till A New Hope, like a Godfather. Yeah, right. That's what's yeah, pretty interesting. I'm curious if exactly how the relationship will play out entirely because I was told, like I said at one point, that Obi-Wan's in disguise when he meets her, but it turns out the disguise from the trailers is just he has his hood up. It's not really a disguise. I'm not saying I thought he had like a funny mustache and glasses on or anything like that, but I thought there was maybe something more to it. Not like he hit himself, but just I don't know. I was waiting to hear about that, and it appears that really it's not that crazy of a disguise. It's just pretty much like, hey, no, I'm not a Jedi. Don't look at me. So we'll have to. Season 2 rumored for Kenobi, but doubt. Yeah. So honestly, by the time a season 2 of Kenobi hits, it's gonna take three. I'm gonna guess, unless something amazing is happening, like 4 years, probably. I don't think it's gonna happen right away. I don't think it could. And if you've been following like all of the spoilers I've been dropping, and like my Qui-Gon story today, I talk about how Leia's intertwined with this underground railroad kind of plot line, and these people that are kind of like helping political dissidents. And so I could see that becoming a show, and maybe Obi-Wan Kenobi is intertwined in some of that in some ways, and that would be a way of bringing Leia and Kenobi together again. And so that could be a thing, but I'm not saying it's gonna be a thing. I'm just saying, like, what could it be? Where are the opportunities? Will Luke and Grogu get their own show, or is that the Ahsoka show? No, I don't. It sounds to me like Luke and Grogu are done after Book of Boba Fett. I don't really expect there to be too much between those two anytime soon. You could do it. I mean, they could make it happen. Luke Skywalker could still be an ally of Din and Grogu, and important to them, stuff like that. Like I could see that definitely being a thing if they want to make it a thing. But the Ahsoka show is apparently all about chasing down Ezra Bridger, finding what happened to him and Thrawn. And so I'm not expecting too much Grogu at this point, but that show hasn't even filmed yet, so kind of hard to know a lot of stuff unless it's just like casting and stuff like that and pre-production jazz. But yeah, we're not really there yet on that guy. Um, Heir to the Empire will have CGI Luke, Han, and Leia. Nah, I don't believe that at all. I don't think there's any truth to that stuff. I think it's just fans taking disparate parts of Heir to the Empire and trying to mash it all up together. That's where I'm at. Hey James, how you doing, dude? Yeah, those pics are good. Apparently they leaked out on 4chan first, is what Azatru was saying. So not my picks. I don't want to take anybody else's thing. But those are just being DM'd to me constantly, and everyone's like, I don't know where they came from. The crawling. So I think Azatru is probably right. The crawling chaos. Perhaps they are Mandos who decided to stay loyal to the Emperor. Yeah, that's probably what we're seeing is probably like those warriors who become agents of Snoke and that kind of jazz. The question I have is when we see those like clones and tanks and stuff, and some of them look like Snoke. Like, are they trying to make Snoke and they haven't been able to do it yet, and they're going to do it in the show? Is this the first time Snoke pops up? So, Geekdom Bad Batch showed phasing out clones. Maybe First Order phases out stormtroopers into the First Order troopers. Yeah. Well, there's a ton of stormtroopers though, and there's no First Order. These ones are all red, and I hear that they're with actual Praetorian guards, that they have actual Praetorian weapons. And since this is before Episode 8, by 20 years or something like that, I feel like these guys probably become the Praetorian guards in some way, or they're like the centurions to the Praetorians or something like that. Like, I'm no way am I some kind of ancient Rome expert, so I don't want to get in over my head with my words. But the Praetorians were the elites, and I know that they eventually capture the emperor and then auction off the ability to be emperor and control the republic for a while, or the empire for a while. And so I would imagine that maybe these guys are kind of like the guys underneath them, but they definitely look like they're Mando based. I got to put my kids to bed, but have a good night. Looking forward to Monday's stream. Good night, Junkbox. See you, dude. Thanks for being a channel member as always. Appreciate it. Geekdom says Mustafar and Kenobi, or maybe a water planet instead of lava. Um, the I think Vader's castle in Mustafar is probably in the show. And from memory, I'm trying to remember everything now. It's been a long week. Um, the battle, the second battle between them, is on a moon of Mustafar. Maybe that Luke we saw with the clone Luke from the comics. And nah, that's definitely the real Luke. Yeah, definitely the real Luke. Crawling Chaos says the Snoke scene in Mando reminded me of Alien 4 with all the failed Ripley clones. Yeah, it definitely had that vibe. It's meant to show that, like, we're having that, if these projects are underway and, like, these nefarious villains are doing some pretty gross sneaky stuff. So Geekdom says in the canon comics they were said they're canon that the Empire found Luke's hand. Okay. As the truth says, Romans in Indy 5 and Mando season 3. Who would have thought, right? I know that shit's wild. Um, I just want so many I want confirmations on Indy 5 stuff. I'm hoping pretty soon I'll have some stuff I can share about that, because Indy 5, man, it's wild. Obi-Wan Dahomey says, how much Kenobi and or Ahsoka crossover do you think we'll have with those being the big shows coming? I don't think we will have really any crossover with Kenobi. I don't think very much with Andor either. I think you're going to have Ahsoka having the possibility of crossing over with, Mando and Book of Boba kind of stuff, like stuff that 5 years out from Return of the Jedi period. That stuff I think is all completely open. But I feel like Andor, and based off a couple of things I've heard about the creator process, I think Andor and Kenobi are very much their own self-contained stories at this time. That doesn't mean that we can't see a rebel come out in Andor who's really well liked, who we see after 5 years after Return of the Jedi or something like that. I'm sure that's possible, but at this time, I would not expect there to be a bunch of crossover stuff on these shows because of the timeline difference mainly. But like Kenobi's super tight; it doesn't have any time to veer off. So, James says, "Will we actually see Mando in all its glory, Mandalore in all its glory as a flashback? Seems expensive CGI to do it like it does in Clone Wars." Yeah, I don't think so. I mean, maybe we do. Maybe there is a flashback. I don't know. I don't think so. I would imagine they would just do it all in the volume, and it would just look, very much like what we saw Dio looking like from Kenobi. But it's definitely sounds like nuclear winter style, frozen lakes and stuff is what I'm hearing. I hope Andor doesn't take place on Tatooine. I don't think it has any Tatooine in it at all. Oh, and then was that Tim in the trailer as Rex or Cody? No, it was not. Not at all. There's no Rex or Cody in the series. Andrew, will they rebrand the Mando and Fett shows as part of this some Mandalore saga, especially with Ahsoka getting her show and possibly other shows down the line, like Thrawn, Ezra, possibly a new character? Yeah, I wouldn't be. I could kind of see that going that way on in some avenues, but that kind of stuff tends to happen more when they're like releasing like Blu-ray box sets, or 4K disc box sets and stuff. And I don't think that Disney Plus is super keen on that idea because they want you to subscribe to be able to get the content. So they don't want you to give them $40 and Mandalorian season 1 and 2, and then never watch Disney Plus until they release more. So I think that the idea is that they don't do it. But I could be wrong. If they're releasing stuff, then by all means correct me. But I think that's their logic. Dash Rendar or Kyle Katarn, I've not heard anything about them in anything. I think it would be kind of hilarious to get Dash Rendar in something, though. And if they ever do like a young Han Solo series, they should definitely bring Dash in, make him like maybe like the guy who's a little bit cooler than Han, like a little bit more competent. Because we love Han because of his incompetence and his just fly by the seat attitude. So Geekdom says, any Clone Wars flashbacks with de-aged Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka Kenobi? The first 2/3 of that, yeah, but nothing with Ahsoka. Will we ever find out what happened to Cody? Not in the Kenobi show. In the comics, Darth Vader killed Commander Fox. R-rated Star Wars content now that Marvel is tapping into the water, or no? I kind of doubt it. I kind of doubt it because like the Star Wars audience are such a bunch of prudes. Like all in all, it doesn't seem like they would be able to handle it. Like they would just act like it was all too much for them. That's just my, I think it's if they're listening to people, but I wouldn't mind. I kind of think it's a little bit difficult with Star Wars because of the Saturday morning serial vibe to it, or whatever you want to call it. Like if you get too far from that, you do kind of start to lose the Star Wars thread and the feeling. And so like, and that's the parameters of that is something that they've never really been able to establish very well. So we'll have to see. But yeah, I'm just gonna let you guys know on this stream I dropped there's a frozen Mandalorian lake. I'm hearing Praetorian guards and Mando stormtroopers, red Mando stormtroopers with the Praetorians. The weapons are back, and so that's why we did this stream today. And I think I'm going to call it a show right now because this is like a lot of streaming today. But I will definitely, if anything else happens, if there's any more developments, I will jump back on and we will hit it. Otherwise, everyone have a good weekend. I'm gonna go pick up my kids from school and start my weekend with my kids. Have a good time. Everybody, make sure you spend time with your family this weekend if you can, and stay safe. And boy, am I a red Praetorian. I will say I am a red-ass Praetorian. So you're very welcome, James. And thanks for everybody who hung out with me today on Star Wars Santa's show, on my show, and this show. And have a good weekend, Obi-Wan Dahomey. And we will get together very soon. I'll be back Monday for sure, but I'll be back before then if anything happens. And next week, I'm going to have some pretty fun stuff to talk about. So make sure you check the site. All right. Have a good weekend, everybody. Bye.
It's not about spaceships.
Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making Star Wars Show. Making